a terrific step for the project to have submitted the mining lease application. What it means is it confirms that the project is advancing towards development. You don't get a mining lease application allowed in New South Wales unless you've done significant engineering, significant environmental and studies, and also come to an agreement with the existing land users.
Your flagship program is the Hawsons Iron Ore project just south of Broken Hill. For quite a few years we've been talking to Nick Sheard about this project and what it may hold. Does this application today in any way expedite the possible future mining of this area?
No, this was a scheduled, it's all part of the scheduled feasibility study, Andrew. So we need to get it in now to maintain our schedules. We're doing that with our partners, Pure Metals, and assistance with the landowners and cooperation with the landowners, progressing our environmental work. That's a key rate-determining step, and so is this mining lease application. That's why we've done it now. We're ready to do it now, and we're moving along very nicely.
Quentin Hill, mining analysts will say that the boom, which has been driven by the demand from China, is slowing down. In fact, I think they're quoting expansion growth of less than 10%, whereas a couple of years ago it was probably double that. Magnetite is probably at the lower end of the iron ore food chain. Are you really confident this project, and we're talking the one just out of Broken Hill, Hawsons Iron Project, do you think it's got legs?
Andrew, absolutely. The signs of this project are good and they're getting better. You're right in that we've gone through a difficult time, and it's really been a shakeout of magnetite projects. There's been a number shelved. There's been a number of infrastructure projects shelved. However, during that time, we managed to secure a further investment from our partner Pure Metals, and we're moving forward while some others have stalled. We're a low-cost operation, or predicted to be a low-cost operation with existing infrastructure. That sets us apart.
As it stands, Carpentaria, I believe, has got about 60% stake with your partners there, Pure Metals. Do you believe that to get the full financial backing of another company to really drive this project to putting that first shovel in the ground, you need to offload some of that 60% to a major shareholder like a Chinese or a Japanese-based company?
We look at all options, but look, in reality, Andrew, that's right. We're looking at significant investment in the project. I think we need about $20 million to complete our feasibility study, and then the capital to build the project is quite large. We want to share that risk with an end user, and we're pursuing that with our partners, pursuing that investment.
The other issues, which are mainly infrastructure related, rail, water, power, are these still aspects of this project you're working through?
Oh, well, it's a good question. It's our key strategic advantage, Andrew. We've got an agreement with Flinders Ports, so we don't see the port as an issue. We've got an MOU with the rail. Now, that rail can't be used. It's a use it or lose it on that rail. So first in, they're stressed, and we are more advanced than others. The water, we'll be drilling soon to test the flow rates of the aquifer we've identified, and we'll know more on that soon. And the power is there. It's an advantage. We can tap into the power line coming from Mildura to Broken Hill. And that means that our capital costs and our operating costs are less.
Probably the worst question you can ask people such as yourself, Quentin Hill, is how long before that shovel goes in the ground. It's probably like asking how long is a piece of string. But as you progress through, you've been in this role now for a few months. You've had over 15 years in a commodity market. If you look at this project now, can you put a time frame around this?
Yes, I can. If we got the funding we needed for the extra funding we needed to accelerate the feasibility study, such as the funding to complete more resource drilling and more metallurgical test work, if we got that funding in the next couple of months, then we're on track to have production by the end of 2016. Now, obviously, that's pretty tight and aggressive, but that's what we're working towards.
You're talking if you've got some financial backing within the next 2 months. I take it from that statement then that there are people or companies you're talking with at the moment?
We're always talking to people, Andrew. At the moment, the joint venturers are funding, or Pure Metals are funding, up to $5 million until May. And if we don't get any more funding in on top of that, well, the schedules may move. I can't comment on your question other than that, really.
You're not only relying on Hawsons, but you've also got some tenements around Yanco Glen. Now, I think it was only probably 12 months ago you announced the doubling of that resource. How does that tie into this project south of Broken Hill?
Yeah, Andrew, there's no real link. We've had some terrific gold results coming up, and as a company, we've had to look at the allocation of our funds, where it's best spent. And because the gold projects are so good, they've leapfrogged the Yanco Glen project somewhat. So in these markets, it's very hard to run a lot of exploration programs, including Hawsons. You still need to stand ready to fund that. So we're focusing our exploration elsewhere at the moment in our very exciting Central Lachlan gold project.
As I mentioned, Quentin, you've only been with the company probably for less than, well, probably something like 6 or 8 weeks. Do you think the company is in a better position now than what it was 12 months ago in relation to these projects around Broken Hill?
The company certainly is in a much better position now than it was 12 months ago, because we've secured another $3 million of fund or so funding from our recent deal in the last 12 months with Pure Metals. So absolutely, we're in a better position. What we've also done, apart from progressing Hawsons with our joint venture partners, is we've gained access to some of our tenements in central New South Wales. Now, it takes a bit longer to get access to tenements these days, so we've had them in the background for a while, and now they're coming to the fore. And we released some promising rock chip and soil sample results with an Advene project west of Condobla, and we're doing follow-up work there now.
When you look at projects like this, part of your job, I'd imagine, would be to preach a little bit of patience to people such as us in the media, from exploring and finding a ore body to actually producing. The minimum time these days, once you take everything into account, particularly when it's in a remote area, you're looking at least a 5-year window.
I guess, Andrew, you're right when you were talking about Hawsons. I mean, we discovered that in 2009. We've got our mining lease application on top of it in 2013. There's different deposits that take longer to develop. A large iron project takes longer to develop than a small gold project. Traditionally, small gold projects still have a lesser lead time than most, and that's why we like to explore for them. But, in saying all of that, yes, we do have to preach patience to others, and mainly that a lot of that's got to do with permitting regimes.
You must be, I suppose, you must receive a bit of a confidence boost when you know the New South Wales government. I know the Resource Minister, Chris Hartcher, flew over your Hawsons Iron project just a few weeks back, that he regards it as the future of mining in Western New South Wales. It's nice to hear them tick all those boxes, Quentin Hill, but it really is a flagship program, just not for your company, but for the far west, and particularly people living in Broken Hill. And I suppose my final question to you is that you're still confident within 2 years, maybe 3, we could see some people working on that site.
That's right. We've got lots of things going for our project that others don't have. So if any of them are going to get going, it's going to be us. And we're working really hard to do it. And the visit by the Minister was very encouraging. I know that people in the area, and I guess people in Macquarie Street too, are very interested in the project. None more so than us, Andrew. So, yeah, that's right. And look, what we are mindful of, though, is that he's not necessarily rushing things with the existing landowners down there. We do have to work with them very closely and bring them with us.